Yeah. So I also said pull from the trigger deck, so we'll see how that goes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is the message today? So I said, oh, baby, what's the message today? Calm down, calm down. Everybody calm down. Yeah, you gotta watch how you wear that dress because it be hiking up in the back.
Yeah, I got some shorts
Yeah, but they look like panties.
on. These like things here.
Oh. Well, I mean the nudity of the nude
Oh, it
color.
kind of matched.
Yeah. 444 on the clock. 4 4 and the 444. We're beginning this at 444. Angel number 444. What's the message? Cognitive dissonance. Why did that come up? Why did that come up? I typed in Angel 444 and this is what came up. So I guess Spirit is guiding today's psychic intuitive counseling session. Okay. Cognitive dissonance. Okay, so am I not going to be talking about angel number 444? Can we get back into the angel number 444? Thank you. Excuse me. And it came up again. Okay, it came up again. Okay, we'll talk about it. But I still want angel number 444. We'll talk about cognitive dissonance. I think I'm going to need my spelling oracles, if you don't mind. Oh, y'all. Yeah, so with the rain, we having to put down windows, take fans out, and that means that we're subjugated to smelling this nasty ass energy coming out of this rotten ass air conditioning, molded air conditioning. So I'm gonna be even more sicker. Okay. Whew, praise be to the Most High God that this year all this will come to a head, and we'll be able to just get to the meat of the pie, like I like to say, and get everything. Put me a deck over here. Whatever deck you put over here is the one I'm starting with on the table. Yeah, y'all. So it's crazy. Put me a deck on the table. Whichever deck you put on the table is what I'm starting with. Whatever deck she puts on the table is what they tell me I'll start with. Uh, don't forget me to get the picture of the Wuthering Heights.
Oh yeah.
And if you could find some quotes like stuff that Catherine said, what Heathcliff said, that'll be good.
Okay.
To go in there.
I got
Uh huh. Yeah. We haven't done that red light special yet, child. Yeah. And I'm gonna need anytime you get time to do some more what's next. And I do need a couple more of these buckets. If you don't mind. Because I'm using it all together right now, but the what's next is filling it up, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Ugh. I can't breathe in this bitch right now. Ugh. I always fantasize about being in a clean air environment to live in, okay? To decorate, to thrive in. I just went and watered my plants and, got the majority of them done. But they be just, when I'm sick, they sick. They going through things too, for sure. Yeah. All right. Okay, yeah. So they still got me doing the automatic writing, basically trusting my intuition 100%. Yeah, and what comes in, write it down. Don't second guess it. So we're actually starting strongly our automatic writing. Okay, which they told me this a long time ago, but here we are. Okay, so we gonna pull a couple of these. Now it's saying, hi Fred. It's saying that the angel number 444 is still being linked to cognitive dissonance. And guys, it's in AI mode. My Google Chrome is on the phone. Okay, so we're gonna go with the flow. Okay, that's the whole point of the psychic intuitive counseling sessions. It's always a way for me to completely stay connected with the divine, with the Most High God, with my guardian angels, my warring angels, my team. Okay, it's too many to name, but definitely the glory goes to the Most High. All right, so yeah, my eyes is very much so bothering me because again, we have to put the windows down and take the fans out to pull out some of the nastiness. So that means it's just in the air and I'm breathing it in while I'm sleeping. So my nasal is stopped up. My eyes is very irritated and dry. I just did the drops, but they still feel like I got sand in them. This place is a toxic soup of mold and microorganisms. Yes, okay. So praise be to the Most High God for me and my daughter's complete protection and our complete detoxing once we leave out of this environment. And like I said, I am going to be extremely a bitch about clean air. So whenever they try to pull these stunts that they tried to pull, it's not working because I'm not going to play the game. Okay? So, as it's stated here, you know, the X Spirit on the random app, the message came out as what? Let me see. Yes, you are really being watched. And then I said, and I should care why? Because I'm gonna keep on keeping on, standing on the truth and unapologetically talking my shit. And however the Most High God divines that to be so. Okay? Like, yeah. So I don't know what's all the tactics about, but I'm not engaging in the game. Okay? It's a game that they're playing with themselves. I'm not engaging. Okay? Um, yeah, because that's the reason why it's done. Okay, so when angel number 444 is coming up being directly connected to cognitive dissonance, when discussed alongside psychological concepts, seeing angel number 444 is often interpreted as a nudge, to align your internal world with your external actions. Okay, so aligning your internal world with external actions. So again, that is part of the chaos, project called magic to control the narrative. Okay? Okay? So when people love to, when entities, okay, love to attach themselves to somebody else's Merkaba, solar plexus, light force, auric field, and assume that they're not detected, okay, because it's just like the immune system. We'll know that there's an intruder. What is this? Let's get on it, okay? So there are people that are I keep saying people, my fault, guys. I don't want to disrespect our humanity, okay? There are entities that operate in a sense of complete sadistic. They're sadist, SADISTS. And what that entails is getting off. I mean, they really get erections. I mean, you could just, it's so crazy about how when you're in distress as a human, how they get off. They literally ejaculate, because I'm seeing these entities as having both sexes. So they're not human. They have both sexes, or they're hermaphrodites in their sexual organs. So the more powerful that you are in your light source, in your light force, in your auric field directly connected to the most high source, which is love. So the more of a heart that you have that is bleeding in love for humanity, and the animals and the nature, all of that. When you are truly divinely sent, they will not stop being so infatuated with you. Right? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like, oh my gosh, like you're already a fucking celebrity in their world. Okay? In their world, you're like, hell, King Elizabeth in their world. Like they have, all of them are not corrupted, okay? There are ones of them that like really admire humans. They really admire humans. They really do. And those are the ones that I tell you that I have as beasts that are protective. Very protective. And I've been asking for them to show themselves to any hybrid human, like their blood is tainted with these entities, because they made it, with humans. They had sex with humans, um, shit like that. So there's hybrids here. But in whom, I could be one. They haven't given me proof of this, but I don't feel completely like, because I just have a strong I don't give a fuck. So that got to be coming from somewhere. But I haven't located the origin of that strong I don't give a fuck. Like I keep telling you guys the story that if I wouldn't have had my daughter, who knows how my life would have turned out, because I truly don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I try my best to explain this and describe the I don't give a fuck, but it's like it's part of my DNA. And I feel like you actually need that to be a true warrior of the light, for the light. You have to know how to descend. That's, yeah, thank y'all. Thank you, Spirit. Thank y'all. The team is here. The team is here. Yeah, you have to know how to descend. Yeah. Okay, it's connected to that. Okay. Something with the Capricorn moon. Something with that. Anyway, I don't want to get technical. But yeah. So this is chiming in on that you're being watched. So um because honestly, when I approach my Act Spirit app, because it's like 866 entries, some of them is like, what the fuck did you want me to put that in there for? But I don't know. It balances out the real messages. Um and I'm always seeking those things that I put in there that's like aligning to what I'm feeling internally, right? Like making love. Like, it's like I have like a bucket list of things that I want to do before I leave out of this body. So sometimes I focus on making love. Not often, because I'm 52 in a month, or in a 9 days. So it's like, not too much. I'm in that different change stuff like that. But I do know that it needs to be exercised, right? For my physical health as a feminine, the reproductive body parts. You have to do that, guys, by the way. Um, You have to. It's for reproductive health. And it's crazy how there's not many so-called gifted doctors that are talking about reproductive health in such a way that they're being pushed out there. But yes, you do have the sex therapists, and you have the all those different hats and labels and stuff. But it's for reproductive health that we must ejaculate, and females can ejaculate. I'm one of them. Hi. So we must ejaculate. It's about, releasing, yeah, so that's important. I think about that, but also, I'm just really wanting to like spread the anointing of the Most High God's love. Like that's ultimately what I think on every single day, majority of the day. Yeah. Yeah. So again, a nudge to align your internal world with your external actions. The link between 444 and cognitive dissonance, a call for alignment. If you are, okay, so they're telling me something about the poverty. We're going to talk about the poverty, okay? A call for it's about a call for alignment. If you're experiencing cognitive dissonance, this is the stress of holding conflicting beliefs or behaviors. So someone in my energy, lots of those that are watching that are human, okay? And there's the others that are hybrids, and then they're the whatever they are. I don't need to identify, okay? Um, it says if you're experiencing cognitive dissonance, the stress of holding conflicting beliefs or behaviors. So cognitive dissonance is being in a state of distress because you have no way of knowing. It's a yet you have not figured out how to release conflicting beliefs and behaviors. Seeing 444 can be viewed as a spiritual prompt to realign your choices with your. So let's go back to talking about the sex. So yeah, so my mind goes on that, but it's only one particular man I want to have sex with, right? And that has not really happened to me over the course of my life, honestly speaking, because I kind of had a little ADHD of attraction, like so many beautiful men of all races. And I've been noticing there's a lot of Asian men that are sexy as fuck. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Sexy as fuck, okay? For real though. They exist. I was like, that's beautiful. You know? Like I'd already seen that there was a very, very attractive other races like Spain, Spanish, and yeah, you can't really see what they mix with. Like they can be Italian, but they look all dark and shit. Like, what are you, like Puerto Rican? Like, that type, the melanated ones. And then I recently discovered that white men, they okay, okay. I don't know. I just think about with the white men, like how is that chemistry gonna go? I don't know. I've never tried it though. I never tried it. So yeah, that's my point. That over the course of my sexual adulthood life, when I was fancying what it is I would like to try, it was like, well, I tried Hispanic. I've had Hispanic. So that's why I say it's pretty much like the yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I think it's the melanin, the skin tone or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I didn't feel like a complete difference. Like, wait a minute, this is different. No, I didn't feel that. So I didn't have any interest in trying that again. But y'all know it's my black man number one, okay? Duh. But thinking. So when I think about sex, it's hard for me to fantasize because I keep thinking about that one dick that I want. Does that make sense? I don't know. This is therapy, guys. I mean, I really do. It has been bothering me a lot because I'm not being able to explore. And I'm like, what is that? I don't like it how you have my attention. But do I have yours? And another thing is that I'm really working on not becoming vindictive. I'm really working on it because I think in a previous life, maybe the most recent one, I tore up a whole bunch of shit with my magic, my real magic. So elemental magic is what I'm talking about. And I don't want to be like that. This incarnation is not about that. But I'm trying not to be vindictive. So I really work on not thinking about that particular penis that I want to feel. I want to feel it. I want to taste it. I want to do both. I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's something so fucking liberating about talking about what the fuck you want sexually. That shit is liberating as a motherfucker, ladies. Try it, okay? Try it. I mean, at first you must learn how to articulate. I'm not talking about that nasty raunchy ass shit. That shit is running rampant. That's not what I'm talking about. You see how I articulate? You see how I articulated that? Do you see how I articulated that? Yes. That's that orgasmic energy, not passionate. It's orgasmic. Okay, you'll learn about it. Just work on it, baby. Work on it. It's so many of us, divine feminines out there that's, speaking out. Those that are physically fit and they're showing you the yoni, the yoni cleansing and the yoga and all that great shit is what I really also fantasize about being a part of. Me and my partner, my man, not I'm a woman. Me and my partner, like we got to be partners in this shit. Like, be partners. Like I want to build things together. I like it when he really respects my mind, my geniusness. I love that shit. That's a turn on. Major fucking turn on. Like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna keep it a little PG, but when he appreciates my mind, when he gets aroused because of some business idea, or maneuver or something, he gets like erect and like, baby, that shit is like, man. I mean, okay. So back to cognitive dissonance. Um, yeah. So it's about realigning your choices with your core values. So yeah. So if I'm being realigned in my sexual brain, I know it's directly connected to the root and the sacral. So no, I don't feel secure. My foundation is not secure. I keep talking about wanting clean air, clean water, wanting my plants to be able to glisten and glow, and I want to be nude in my house without motherfuckers trying to watch me. You didn't think I knew? Okay, so yeah, this got to change. Okay, for sure. All right. Yeah, so support during dismantling. Many believe 444 appears specifically when you are dismantling. Yes, absolutely. Old, inconsistent structures in your life, like leaving a misaligned job or relationship. So it's not my job to keep up with you guys' compliance about black people's poverty. That's not my fucking job. So I won't play the game. Okay, that's been said. That's been said. Okay. Um, and what am I? Okay, so we're dismantling. That's gone. That's gone. Okay, that's gone. This is completely gone. Section 8, public housing, food stamps, gone. Over. Okay, I lived it. I understand it. Come on, let's get on with it. Um, Doors wide open. Money unlimited because you already know what I'm gonna do with it. Absolutely, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm not connected to it. I'm not tied to it. It cannot give me an orgasm. It cannot give me an orgasm. Money, white dead presidents on a fucking piece of paper cannot give me orgasms ever. Now, it can purchase the home, get the space ready, and all of that. Yes, because we're in a bartering system here in America. But it can never give me an orgasm. So don't try to, somebody trying to come in and set shit in motion. You're watching me to see how much I know. You're watching me to see, am I figuring out? You're watching me to see if if I sense this and sense that. But do you not know that me being directly, my soul being directly connected to the Most High, that makes me a mastermind strategist. Like, come on, you fucking idiots. Anywho, so support, yes, support. Dismantling. Many believe 444 appears specifically when you are dismantling old inconsistent structures in your life, like leaving a misaligned job. Again, it's not my job to remain in compliance with your putting black people in an impoverished state of thinking and behaviors. Okay? All right? Yeah. Or a relationship that does not give me cosmic orgasms, divine orgasms, out of body experience orgasms. Okay? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Okay? It serves as a reminder that this demolition phase is necessary for building a solid foundation. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right then, put it together. You know how I like to get down with the get down. Psychological pattern seeking. Okay, psychological pattern seeking. Psychological pattern. So spirit is saying one must slow down the way that they are articulating so they can hear the different and melodies within their own songbird, their own voice. So therefore you can pay attention to the psychological pattern seeking, and that's how you decode the matrix. You decode the matrix by realigning. Okay, wait. Okay, y'all catching the code? Y'all catching it? You have the power to decode the chains that bind you by realigning your choices with your core values, but also knowing that you are being supported during this dismantling, as well as being shown psychological patterns. Okay, so from a psychological perspective, noticing 444 while studying cognitive dissonance may be the Bader Meinhof phenomena, frequency illusion. Yes. So that's why they can't stand it when I use the music. Okay, that's okay. Because they saw me sewing 511. The Ascended Masters are here. Sewing in is an interweaving of the numbers. Yes. They like to control the frequency. Okay, of course. Duh. That's the reason why they revamped the technology. The technology has always been here. It has always been here in a different form and fashion, but technology is new, not new. The iPhone, they're going to show me what the iPhone was called in another timeline, guys, okay? In another timeline, the iPhone was called something else, okay? They'll show me that in due time. In due time, okay? In due time. Okay, so the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, frequency illusion, okay? Frequency illusion. So we're going to study that off air. That's my homework. Y'all like it when I get homework. I don't know about you, but when you get spiritual homework from the divine, child, Bader-Meinhof. Okay, it's not 2F. Meinhof phenomena. Phenomenon. And that is frequency illusion. I'm hearing a song now. Must be the music. It's turning me on. Must be the music. I've been caught to the daylight. I keep you moving all through the night. And it's talking about once your brain, so the Bader Meinhof phenomenon, which is going to, as I get deeper into it, basically highlight this frequency illusions. Okay, so it's once your brain assign, and I typed in angel number 444 and this came up. Okay, so what I did, once your brain assigns value to a concept or a pattern, your reticular activating system, oh my goodness, ooh, it's getting good. Reticular, does that have to do with the eye? And I started off talking about my eyes. Reticular activating system. Yes. I don't know if he's scared or what. Like, yeah, they tried to say I had that because they literally wanted me to like be afraid to not breed, because I'm not trying to have no more babies in this world. But get have my womb activated. They thought that that would shut down my womb with falsifying records. They thought that that would shut down my womb magic if they falsified the medical records and said she has this, she has that, she has that, she has this. That's the game? What the fudge? Okay. Selectively notice it everywhere to create a sense of order. Your reticular activating system will selectively notice these frequency illusions because that's exactly what they do. It's a chaos. How to use 444 as a tool. When you see the number in a state, okay, yes, because we got the 7 and we got the 7. So that the 7 and 4 is 11. The 7 and the 4 is 11, 11, 11. The ascendant masters are here. When you see the number in a state of mental conflict, that's why I turned into that song, Crucial Conflict. Come out and play. Smoking on hay, hay, in the middle of the barn. Okay, when you see the number in a state of mental conflict, you can use it as a mindfulness cue. Okay, so what's the mental conflict I was having when I seen 444? Okay, align it, align it. So I felt the emotion of anger when the random app Spirit Oracle under the random app showed me that they're spying. But then what had happened was I was attempting to go to the Social Security Administration to reapply for disability. And they have went in there and scrambled that particular website for my name where I cannot do it. And that I will put me in a position to have to call and speak to a imbecile limp noodle bitch of a man to call himself putting in my records what the fuck he wants to put when he literally could be just doing this with the keyboard. So how is that letters that create words, that create spells to my advantage? So again, I did not engage in the game. Okay? Also, for me to receive any kind of a donations, they have been dismantling third party sharing. What do they call this shit? Money sharing, like Cash App. That one was dismantled. Venmo was dismantled, and the last one that's hanging in there is PayPal. I can't do Zelle because Zelle is tied to some type of shit. My eye is flinching now. It just started flicking. My left eye, ah, my left eye lid is jumping. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the heart sickness, the heart sickness, the heart sickness, throwing up what is tainting the heart, throwing up what is tainting the heart. So as you continue to move through this mindfulness cue, so I was getting angry about that. And higher self, aka spirit, said, you're not engaging in the game. There's no need for you to feel the emotion of anger to pull your frequency down because you are divinely protected and provided for. Don't you say that in your incantation? Don't you say that? Don't you say, I call in the element of fire for love's compassion, water for the soul's purification, air for the flow of communications, and earth to ground me in the healing protections and provisions from my ancestors, my guardian angels, the cosmic elders, and the divine feminine spirit that created us all. I call in the counsels of the highest white light to make my messages plain, crystal clear in Christ's consciousness name, Jesus, but really it's Yeshua, the real one, right? Yeah. So protected and provided for. So, so you consistently attack or try to, this would have never happened if I wouldn't have woke up to who I always knew I am. Right? None of this shit with doing weird shit. And it's always meant to get you to get upset. And that's why they make sure that we get these free phone upgrades and shit. You ain't even got to pay for it. And just, hold up, but just turn in your old phone. Why? If I paid money for it initially, you even had it up on a payment plan for me to get it for $1,400 because it has all the bells and whistles that I don't even use. Okay? And then you want me to turn the phone back in and you give me a whole new surveillance device. Technology has always been here, but not in this form and fashion. Keep that in mind. Okay? So, you must stay in a state of mindfulness to see how everything is lining up in the queue. Okay? The alignment. How all the befuckery is so obvious to show you. You don't have to go listen to nobody with, a channel or something. That it's your own reality that you live in day by day to know that you are being surveilled, watched. And then they'll do little things to let you know that you're being watched by, let's say you're on a dating app, there's certain screen names. It's the stupidest shit ever, right? It's literally truly trying to cause you like some sort of a mental break, right? But it's like if I'm on a public platform, I'm on a platform called YouTube publicly. Like I make things public, even though it's always public, even if you have it on private. Does that make sense? Thank you. So if I talk about my twin flame Michael Wayne, and then you show up on a dating site named Michael, you think I'm gonna think that's a coincidence? Really? And then other screen names like it's so stupid. You'll never ever capture me in the bullshit because it's asinine. It's asinine, it's stupid, and it's completely counterproductive to what I have the vast knowledge and wisdom to speak on. Where's the books? This is your internet. They said it's Beyonce's. I don't know what the fuck that saying is all about. But this is what y'all put together. I typed in angel number 444. I know exactly where I was going, to sun signs. I was going to sun signs. And then because I have it on AI mode, artificial intelligence, again, has always been here. Artificial meaning like it's not coming from a living human being like myself, you know, with all the cells, and then they wanted me to scan my palm and all that type shit that I'm not even tripping on, like whatever. When you see the number in a state of mental conflict, okay, so what was the other? That was the conflict that I was having, like, what the fuck? Because what was on my mind? Making love to that penis and this changing. That was it. Simple. That was it. Like, that was the conflict. And then as soon as my mind went back to going back into their systems, higher self said, we got something to talk about. We about to talk about the policy. And you gonna break it down to their ass and you gonna spit that truth logically. And fuck everybody that hates. Because ultimately, guys, what is it, class? What is it? That we must have a healthy dose of every day. A healthy dose of I don't give a fuck. That's the only way for you to detach from the outcome and detach for how you're going to get the income. Mm-hmm. Now it says pause and observe. This is number one on how to use it for as a tool. Pause. This is number one. Pause and observe. Identify what specific thought or behavior is creating the dissonance in that moment. So now let's go over here. We know what cognitive is. It has to do with the mind. Okay, let's go and see. I just want to define dissonance because that's one of the D's you guys never hear me say. When I say God is guidance over dissonance. Okay, so let's go in and let's put that in. Yeah, okay. Dissonant. Okay, has two discs. Two discs. Two disc. Two of Pentacles. Is it here? I don't know if they want when they want me to get into these, but they may do now on the next session or whatever. Oh no, we have a Knight of Swords on the bottom. Okay, we got a Knight of Swords. Okay. Next, Eight of Wands. Next, Queen of Wands. Celebrating. Okay, Queen of Wands receives the knowledge. Celebrating getting out of poverty, and this Ace of Cups is coming in. I can't make it up. Chariots of Fire. I can't make it up. We'll divine this later, okay? I can't make it up. So dissonance, a harsh, inharmonious, discordant combination of sounds. It's a cacophony. It's a cacophony, chaos. Okay? Going on in the mind, or a lack of agreement and consistency that's causing tension. It serves as the opposite of harmony. Okay, commonly used in music. Exactly. Yes, absolutely. So they don't like it how I use music to interrupt the cacophony of cognitive dissonance. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. This is what higher self will do for you. This is what higher self will do for you when you get in alignment with it. So what are some examples of a cacophony? Okay. It's cognitive dissonance. Okay. It's going to create dissonance. Which is mental discomfort. So like a screaming, hollering baby that sounds that he or she is in distress and being abused. When you have that true bleeding heart, so you must have a heart of Christ to have a complete shutting down of anything you got going on to find out why that baby is in distress. Why is somebody screaming for help? But what happens if your higher self is screaming for you to listen to it? Believe what it gives you as the truth. Even though you may not understand exactly how all the words will make a paragraph that you can comprehend, how all the numbers gonna add up into your bank account where you know you got what you need and now you out there helping others. See, what you must do is get in a complete position of receiving a healthy dose from the divine, from the Most High God. I don't give a fuck, and know how to transmute that into love for others. Roll that back. I know I said that just like that. Yeah, go back and get it. Go back and get it. See, they don't highlight this type stuff. Yeah, I'm going to put this one as fiery red hot here. Fiery red hot. Hold on, let's go back. So, yeah, so we got dissonance down pat. Did we? Did we get that class? Okay. We got that class. Okay. So, yeah. Where we was is here. Okay, so yes. So number one, you're gonna pause and you're gonna observe. You're gonna pause and you're gonna observe. So when they think that they got you all frazzle dazzled, you stay in hyper vigilant mode. So you see how you change the word? They want you frazzled and dazzled by things and people and this and that and the other and desperation to get out of this. Well, let me tell you what you do. You show up praising the Most High God. You show up being in your authentic self. So this Queen of Wands uses self-confidence. All of the energy, character traits of the Queen of Wands is being used to slither right on up out of this grips of poverty. Yeah, by receiving the knowledge from the divine, the love from the divine. Go, this your homework. Go study really deeply the Ace of Cups in Tarot. Okay? Go study really deeply, and I'm talking about ask for divine guidance. That's it. It's simple. And you say it like this: Spirit, show me what you want me to see about the Ace of Cups. You're talking to your higher self. Okay? You're not talking to no werewolves and gooblies and goblins and stuff. You're talking to your higher self, baby. Okay? Spirit, what you want me to see about the Ace of Cups? Now, when I break it down to you, I go and I put in Ace of Cups in Kabbalistic Tarot. Okay? That's how I get down with the get down. Because I can see what it is higher self wants me to see in session. Okay? So then, yeah. So this celebration is coming fast for you. This celebration is coming fast for you. You got those that are envying how you pause and you observe. Because you are identifying what specific thought or behavior created dissonance. Let's go back, class. Class, let's go back. Dissonance, write it down. What created dissonance in your life? A cacophony in your life. That is C as in cat, A, C as in cat, O, and phony. So what created a lie? What type of things happened in childhood that started to set seeds that your thoughts that was going to create certain reality, it was going to obscure your reality so it can water emotions, that particular soil, your foundation, that the seed was already planted, whether externally from your family, your bloodline, or internally from a broken heart. Follow me. So that was phony. So when they say the devil is a lie, I keep telling you the devil is within. I'm going to say it again. The devil is within. The devil is within. See, this is what I do. This is what I do, baby. All that other bullshit is just, because I'm in this human body and, going through this human experience. So, this is what I really do. This is what I get orgasms about, okay? Spiritual orgasms, baby. Go look it up. Okay? So we got the word dissonance. I'm gonna write this stuff down deeper behind the scenes because my thumb is giving me hell. We got dissonance. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's talking about it is a discordant combination of sounds. Oh, we finna get into talking about the music. The numbers. Yay. Now look how I misspelled it. Combination. What combination? Put an I and an N up in here. N, okay. Discordant com combination of sounds. We gonna be getting talking about the music. I see in divine timing. I've been asking, when am I going to be able to study about the music and articulate, about music and the numbers and in the matrix, in the, and they said in due time back then. So I already got notes in my big notebook somewhere over there. So maybe I can go dig them out when the time comes. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be organized. Okay, so discordant combination of sounds, it's a cacophony. Okay, and it's a cacophony, and let's go deeper into that word because and so cognitive dissonance, guys, it creates mental discomfort and conflicting beliefs. Okay, so we're gonna go into cacophony, but right here we're gonna go back into dissonance, and it's saying that this discordant combination of sounds creates mental discomfort. Oh, my thumb. I'm having physical discomfort, okay? From conflicting, which is not good for my writing career. It's not good at all. Like, what is going on? Beliefs. Okay, so we got that down, right? So we're going to go into cacophony. All right, because this is for me. Oh, maybe that's what they wanted me to do. Add this to my spelling oracle. Okay. That's what they wanted me to do. Okay. Okay, I got you. All right. Let's see. Define cacophony. Let's get into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Loud mixture of sounds. Thank you. I knew it. A loud. And I'm going to say disturbing because we talked about the screaming baby. And alerting. No. Attention getting. Ooh, I don't write this little baby handwriting. What is going on? Attention getting sounds. That's what cacophony is. Okay? Bad sound. A mishmash. Okay, thank you. So discordance, that we also have a mishmash of noises. Mm-hmm. Yes, so this is how when they do the gang stalking shit and they have all the like loud noises around your place of residence or like the neighbor situation that is documented here on this channel, all of that is there as well. That's all there too. All the shit that they try to do to cause you to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right then. So, let me see what's it over here. Mary Hardison, good evening, Divine Reader. Glad to see you again, and I'm glad I'm on site. Again, I don't join a lot of the readers because I try to protect y'all from the black magic. Okay, well, baby, we are we are 100%. No, it's unlimited protection over here, baby. This the Most High God over here, the Most High. Okay, you got to be careful for throwing out Jesus and Jesus and Jesus because they come in Jesus. Okay? Yeah, sure do. Go watch the movie that they put out called Sinners. Go watch that. You'll see. Okay, so a mishmash of noises that lack harmony or a clear pattern. There it is. There's a mismatch of noises lacking a clear pattern. So it's a liken to that whole Travis Travis Hunter, I think is that what is his name? Travis Scott. That I live here in Houston, Texas, with the Astrological situation, and that's what they were doing. They were doing a cacophony to scramble the people's internal um deciphering and discerning God seed. Because they came and they put themselves, see, the whole ground had a spell on it. The entire concert parameters had already had this placed on it to receive a lot of blood for the next leveling up. Okay, so we do fight against powers and principalities, guys, lacking a clear pattern. There we go. So if you pay attention, you saw me talking about these patterns. And so that's how the higher self, aka spirit, will also give you energy of, give you positive energy and reinforcement that you are completely directly connected to source. And I'm talking about the highest, the only light of this world is God's love. God is guidance over dissonance. Okay? Yes, indeed. All right. So yeah, chaos. Here it is. I told you that. I told you that. Chaos. I told you that. Frequently used to describe chaotic situations where multiple sounds compete for attention. So if you're living in the hood and you a star seed in the hood, you know, thing they want to do, make sure they control the money. They the money and they control the money. So you'll never ever see me on any platform discussing or demanding black people be treated fair. No, we're past that shit. Huh? We past that shit. We're now in the age of the Aquarian energy of telling that real hard truth eccentrically. Okay? So that's, we all about finding your own black magic. See, black just means that it is obscured. It's hidden. It's covert. I don't want you to see which direction it's coming from. Okay, come on, I'll get this card in here. I don't want you to see the direction that it's coming from. But when you always looking up, how the fuck you think that I'm gonna just easily trip? If I'm trusting, who's guiding me? What energy, I'm speaking of energy, is guiding my footsteps? What happens when you stay looking down? Your cervical spine start hurting, your neck start hurting and shit. That's why it's very important that the spinal cord is treated with the utmost care. Huh? The central nervous system, baby. It's always meant to attack your heart, your feeling center, your heart chakra, your crown chakra, your mind, your root chakra, your foundation, your sacral chakra. If your mind, your crown, your heart is your mind is scrambled, dissonance, your heart is broken, chaos, cacophony. You see, it works together. Then you can't really speak nothing truthful in love. It's all out of anger. So let's see if we can use that. And well, let's go ahead and give them the money, because we don't give a shit about that. They don't give a fuck about the money. I keep telling y'all that. They don't give a fuck about the money. The money is a tool. The money is a tool. A bartering tool. They don't care. The money is like the carrot that is going to seduce the rabbit. And then when you can boldly in Christ consciousness say, silly rabbit, tricks are for who? That's why they affect the babies. That's why they coming for the kids. Kid is really, what is that, a baby goat? You're the goat. You're him. The sacrifice. So I guess they wanted me to get around to this Ark of the Covenant. So it's still here. I ain't put it up. Hebrews 9:4 states that the Ark of the Covenant contained, number one, the golden pot of manna. Number 2, Aaron's rod that budded. Number 3, the tablets of the covenant. We're going to get into it when the time comes. It's when the time comes. Okay? So they give me little pop-up quizzes. You know what I'm saying? To see how I'm going to write it out. How I'm going to articulate it. So that's a beautiful thing, beloved. You know, they want you to feel like it's a curse to be chosen. I am a bride of the Most High God. I am the Most High God's wife. I was his daughter and I grew into his wife. His. The masculine side of my psyche. It's all about changing the way you perceive what is true for you, beloved. Yeah. You hear that? You see that bass? You see that bass? What was I just talking about in what was we on last night? 38, 37? What was I talking about? I was talking about that song having that bass. When you hear bass, what does it do? It immediately makes your heart like do some type of weird, you know, if it's too much, it affects your inner ear, your eardrums. It affects your heart, and you'll feel it in your root chakra. Bass. So that's why the ancestors, you know, they hit them drums, whether it was the Indian Cherokee, I don't know, they're telling me to say Cherokee, or the African. That one is vast. That one is vast over lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? But something I'm definitely connected to is the shaman and the drums of the shaman. They just said Cherokee. I don't know. Right? So like I said, anywho, okay. So back on what I was like going with where they're taking me. Okay. So that mishmash of noises that lack harmony or a clear pattern is discordance. Okay, discordance. So they sow discord. So I was always able to see how folks that came into my life actually came with an imprint of chaotic noise about the way that they talk, act, behave. And it was always meant to sow discord, to be a shit starter. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, when it came to men, I never could see how that man couldn't see that if I don't want to suck you or fuck you anymore, it's over. Like pretty much. Like pretty much. One thing I can say about the ex-husband Terrence, he would always tell the truth on himself. It's like he'll do some shit and don't even realize he be just talking. And that's really my energy. Honestly, I have to tell you that's you can't be around me without being transparent. I'm a mirror. So he literally told me one day that, yeah, if it would have been meaning me, if I would have got locked up, he would have definitely been fucking somebody and married and went on with his life. He told me that. He told me that. It was crazy. I don't know what we were. Probably we were talking about him having a problem with me getting some dick elsewhere because his didn't work because his end-stage renal failure. And he probably was feeling sorry for himself and all of that. I'm feeling like that was the tone of the conversation. And then he just blurted that shit out because we wasn't talking about his prison time and what all I did while he was in prison. We wasn't talking about that. But he just blurted that shit out. Maybe I did say, would you have waited on me, or would you? Yeah. Because that sounds like a strategy that I would pull. I asked him, I said, so if I would have went to prison, would you have waited on me? Yeah. Because the strategy was for him to tell the truth so he could see I'm living in my truths. That was the strategy. So I said, would you have waited on me if I went to the penitentiary for 12, 13 years? Would you have waited on me? Or would you have? And I said, hold up, I expect you to fuck. Okay, I expect you to fuck and get sucked, because he wasn't really great with the oral, like, you know, for real. Anywho, but I expect him to do that. So, but would you have like tried to set up house? And he said more than likely yes. See what I'm saying? So the guilt trip of, I'm mad because you leaving me because what? What are you saying exactly? The lie? Yeah, yeah. So that sows discord within my auric field of consciousness about my truth of how I feel. So there's always a play of not validating your feelings, divine feminine. It's always this type of a manipulation for you not to validate your feelings and always put this masculine, regardless if he's really giving you waterfall orgasmic orgasms or not, regardless if you can see him as bringing in the groceries while you're gonna go and organize them and prepare the meal, and then he's gonna take out the trash. Simple shit that a partnership can be, balanced in that to that degree. Now, those simple things in a marriage does not exist, right? So you were supposed to, divine feminine, you were supposed to negate the fact that you are a human individual being that was born in a separate womb from your counterpart, your masculine counterpart, that has its, the soul has its own evolutionary trajectory. So that's some real strong ass motherfucking entitlement. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the volume. Key characteristics of what we talking about again, class? Cacophony. Okay. Harsh, discordant, often loud mixture of sounds that are unpleasant to the ear to hear. It's the truth is unpleasant to hear, but it is still the truth. It literally translates to bad sound, so it don't sound good. I don't like how you talking. Who gives a fuck what you like? So you had to take a stance. This we talking about the dismantling, class. Go ahead and write that down. Highlight it. Okay? We're talking about the dismantling, the demolition of a false ideology of what it means to be a woman and a wife, a significant other, a lover. Okay? That's what we talking about. We talking about this dismantling. Let me click on over my other little thing right here where it was. Where it was. Mm-hmm. Hold on, go back up where it was. Yeah, this is a demolition phase. This is my expertise. Okay? The demolition phase. Mm-hmm. And that 444. So 444 support during divine feminine's demolition phase. Okay, there we go. That's what we talking about. That's the title. Number 38. Are we on 38? No, 39. Okay, my bad. I'm going to have to start writing that shit down. Number 39. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's what we talking about. This is what this psychic intuitive counseling session is about. Yes. Uh-huh. And so we talked about where we was at. Where was we at? Uh-huh. The mishmash. Okay, what happened? Did we jump? Volume? We on volume? Yeah, there we go. We on volume. So we just talked about the key characteristics of the cacophony, which is the discordance or a mishmash of noises. Okay, so mishmash of lies. That's what we talking about. Mishmash of lies that was expected, that the divine feminine was expected to co-sign. Okay, therefore not validating her heart of hearts, her core values, her internal alignment with the Most High God that said that's not true. That's not who you are. You're not a punk. You're not gonna be scared. You're not gonna be punked out. You're not gonna be worried about how you gonna pay bills because when you doing it with the motherfucker was locked up. Was you? Was you? Were you? Were you? Okay, so you was always living this life since you came out of the who? Where you come from? the family. This was the family. Okay? Okay? You could always see all the bullshit in the food stamps, the Section 8. You saw it all. You was quiet then, but you saw everything. You didn't know how to talk to the mother about it. The ace, this was your ace boom coon, your mama. You know how to talk to her about it. Because it's like she liked it. She got in bed with it. You know, because most mothers that don't like it, they talking their shit as they waiting in line to get their food stamps. And it's waking up other people, or maybe somebody behind you and your mama standing in line to get the books of food stamps that the lady was saying some real true ass shit. Looking at it like you just nodding your head on the inside of your head. You ain't really moving your head. And then your mama said, I know that's right. So at least you had an idea that mama didn't think this shit was cool and that we gotta rise up, baby. So when you say you God's eternal flame, you always was walking with that internal flame. For truth. For love. For light. For abundant healing. So you always knew who you were. Okay, so volume. Often associated with loud or overwhelming environments. See what I'm talking about? Lincoln Park. See what they did? They also didn't think that I was going to actually speak shit. Like, say it. If you are surveilling me, why are you thinking it? My black people ain't trying to do nothing to me. They walking by, talking loud, smoking a herb, no, that gas, like Candace Matthews said on that last video, and that's somebody out there smoking that gas. Yeah, that's what it be, right? And they riding by doing nigga shit, bumping loud ass music, trembling on the windows and stuff. That's the only thing important. I gotta ride the ride in. I put some music in it, and let me leave out the hood, come back into the hood. Let me screech my wheels. Okay, I'm about to leave right back out again. I'm gonna come back in again. I'm gonna leave out again. I'm gonna screech my wheels right by her window. Okay, we gonna put somebody right next door. They gonna be loud, sitting out in front of her door, doing all kind of shit. Maybe that's gonna piss her off. She gonna come out there, get into it with them. One of them gonna be, we gonna send a signal to one of them to talk back, say some shit back. Her daughter gonna get upset. Yeah, it didn't work. None of the motherfucking 555. Come on in now. Ascended Masters, I told you welcome him. Archangel Michael. I love me some Michael. Yes. Raphael. Thank you. 555. 555. I told y'all we passed that. Didn't I say it? I told y'all we passed it. Didn't I tell you that how you know you passed it, you been past it, you ain't never been locked into this shit because you were never complacent with the whole bullshit. You been speaking this shit. You didn't have a camera or a microphone or whatever to do it. You been talking like this. It's none of this is new. The ex-husband would listen and tune in. That's how she talks. She been like that. She been talking that shit. He called it talking that shit. I miss you talking your shit to me. But nigga, that didn't make my vagina get swollen and wet and tighter and want you in me, nigga. That made me want you to get the fuck away from me so I can get the one that I can exercise my rights with. That's what that did. Because you're not supposed to be just hearing. You're supposed to be comprehending that this shit right here about to get your ass put the fuck up out of my energy permanently. Because again, guys, let's go back to the beginning. Every single day you wake up, make sure you take you a healthy dose of the Most High God's I don't give a fuck. I'm going to come up with a product. I'm telling you. I'm going to come up with a product some kind of way. I'm telling you. You think I'm bullshitting? This is the Most High God's I don't give a fuck serum. You have to. You can't really be a soldier of love with all this giving a fuck. I promise you can't. I promise you can't. You're gonna have to learn how to balance your heart, your feelings. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm telling you. And it's so crazy because every time I get to talking like this, y'all, I just get horny. I don't even like that word horny because it sounds like some like horny goat weed or some shit that I ate like a supplement, a gummy or some shit. No, I get aroused. Thank you. That's the word. I get aroused. I really do. I really do. Like. But it y'all tripping because y'all think it's like sexual. No, it feels like, how can I describe the euphoria? It's euphoric. So it's not vagina. She chilling. She ain't doing nothing. So no, it's not that way. But it's sacral. It's sacral. It skips the root, and it's sacral. Okay, sacral chakra. All right. So you know what I'm saying, this is what they do. They put you in overwhelming environments, or they force you to remain living in an overwhelming environment. I talked about the mold. They just put another notice on the door talking about on April the 20th, they're going to have state inspections. Okay, I've been waiting for y'all ass to come because I want to record how I'm talking about the mold. And so if this is a real inspection, why don't you give a fuck about the mold? If this is an inspection and it's already documented here on this channel on a short, and so much more footage here on this channel about being in mold and all the tactics that was taken, what the fuck is your inspection about? You're not gonna just come in here and walk around like y'all had been doing. Just come up the stairs. You smell the smell. It overwhelms you, okay? Because there's only about 2 windows that we actually use on three. My daughter's room on a regular basis, and they made sure to just give one window per room. I don't know why the fuck in the building plans it couldn't give 2 windows to get more motherfucking air. Okay, so when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about the stuff that's stuck all on my appliances, everything we constantly wiping down with alcohol. We've avoided using any kind of bleach, and I'd rather just use alcohol because if we're touching surfaces that we have sanitized with alcohol, if something on you get to burning with alcohol, it'll dissipate. You know what I'm saying? The body, if you let's say I touched this, I just alcoholed it down and I didn't realize, and I rubbed my eye and I'm like, oh shit, my eye burning. It's going to neutralize it. The body knows what to do. But I don't want to use bleach. You see what I'm saying? So I'm buying white alcohol, putting it in baby wipes, using it as my surface cleaning. Because the shit is landing on every surface in this apartment, on our food, on my dishes. Right? Absolutely. You can smell the stench. We have to keep the air conditioning on 60 degrees to keep it that cold in here for us not to really smell the stench. Because it's like a never-ending ammonia, mildew, mold energy in the HVAC system. Which, for people that don't know, that's the AC. The central AC is where the mold all growing in. And I'm just thinking when I just watched that video with Candace Matthews over at La Casita Apartments, and she pointed out that mold right. Yeah, that's exactly what we got going on. But I have tangible documents that Allied Orion Group, that was the property management for Lincoln Park Apartments, ordered, paid for, third party. It's on the fucking channel. So what you need to do a motherfucking inspection for of what? Of what? I don't give a damn if you is a state official or whatever they claiming on the thing that it's a state official or whatever. Okay, and you think I'm supposed to receive that as truth? I don't receive that as truth because you didn't put 2 or 3 other notices on the door about these same inspections that never happened. So if they listen to me on this platform to see they always do shit to see if I'm gonna get a reaction. If I'm gonna give them a reaction, and I'm not. I'm saying to you, I'm going to film you not doing what the fuck you supposed to do, walking up in here. YouTube already took down a video that didn't even have the white bitch in it. This married bitch in the office didn't even have her in the footage. Didn't even have her in the footage at all. But she's on my Ring camera at my door with this other white man, supposed to be some new inspector that Tarantino Properties that now took over Lincoln Park is supposed to have hired. But he gonna stand in my living room and tell me my plants is what's causing the mold. Yeah, that's what he said. Him and Mary. Yeah, so YouTube took down the video when she wasn't even in the video at all. So all they do is try to prove to you and show you like, oh, we still got long reach, whatever we say. Bitch, I watched the movie that said, Radio Now, Here I Come, part 1 and part 2. I pay attention to all the alleged subliminals. They be right in your fucking face. So I'm going to record you, call yourself coming here doing a motherfucking inspection. Here go the mole report right here. Mary, did you see the report? The so-called fake-ass inspector that came with her, did you not also see the report? All of the motherfuckers have seen the report. I've contacted the housing authority and asked them about what is this whole thing with that Section 8 voucher that it just went away. Like, no, and it's an Asian lady responding back to me, oh, no, nothing I can say about that. You know, I don't know about that. I'm talking about your recertification, not recertification, you getting on the waiting list for another Section 8. Why the fuck would I need to get on a waiting list for another Section 8 voucher when there's somebody living in one that was concocted for me and my daughter to move out of mode? Why the fuck would I need to get a new one to start this whole game all over again? What? You blocking the Social Security Administration shit. Now that could have something to do with the those shit. Neon Musk, what's his damn name? Elon Musk and Trump and them with all that bullshit they did with the Doge and talking about the Social Security Administration. They found so much theft and all that shit going on. It could have something to do with that, to where they concocted a plan to take it away from you being able to, to apply online. And you got to talk to a physical motherfucker that's part of their agents to type in anything. Right? And another way that they do it, they make sure it's men that you're talking to. They make sure it's men that you're talking to with a certain tone. Remember, didn't I tell you it's about the frequency, the patterns, with a certain tone. So just imagine talking to somebody that's in the military, right? Or they're militant minded. They really hate women, and they have this sort of dictatorship in their throat. They got a frog in their throat that is a dictator. So there's a certain tone, right? The way they're speaking to you. You can almost hear the giggling in their voice. Like they already know, like, yeah, I'm about to tear your shit up. I'm about to type in any damn thing. And why would I do that? Just like before I had the hearing, April the 25th, whatever it was, April 26th, whatever it was. This is 2026 now. Last year, 2025. They wanted me to go through some type of a psychological screening. Now, if I literally had schizophrenia, whatever the fuck all the other diagnoses could be, you wouldn't have took me through that route. You probably would have hurried it up and said, okay, yes, you can see our psychiatrist. They're going to want to put you on a said drug. And then through that, by seeing how you react to that, we'll put you on disability because, bitch, I would be disabled for taking your poisons. So I denounced it. I said, no. I don't need to speak to anybody about no psychological anything. What's going on with me is physical. The records say physical. You don't have a history of any records that says, oh, I was having thoughts of suicide, anything of the such. So you're not about to play that game with me. I straight up told the white lady who I was on the phone with. And right after that, she resigned. I'm trying to tell you, when they start realizing the type of things that whoever these motherfuckers are that got them doing certain things that they're not aware of initially, but then something in them, the higher self, in them say, let this go, leave this alone. That white lady that called me to say, Miss Fontenot, before we can actually do your hearing, we would like for you to go through a psychological evaluation. And I was like, for what? All my shit is physical. And it's the way she said it. She said it in a way like, I'm white, I'm privileged, whatever, I got money or whatever. She don't even have to have, let me tell you something. White people don't even have to have a lot of motherfucking money in the way with black folks feel that money is money and money is money. And they still will operate in this energy of better than white privilege. Okay, by the way, it doesn't bother me, but I'm just pointing that out, that she was a white woman calling me about my, whatever the fuck that department is that they're also dismantling. I read that, it came up. what is the goddamn department with the Social Security Administration, the Determination Disability Services, DDS. They're dismantling that. So she was still working in that energy, but she was telling me that they were short staffed and they have stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of people's files. And not only that, but when I tried to go through Jonathan Ginsburg, funky ass, he had his lady that was working for him call me back, and she also reiterated that as well, that the Social Security has so many stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks because people are even applying for disability just because they stress the fuck out about life, but they have nothing tangible to show that they've been going through psychological things and or anything psychological that led into physical things. So everybody's applying for disability. So it's like stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on applications. So with me having this knowledge, I felt like, and the reason I called Jonathan Ginsburg that for the record is because he was selling out my information to the highest or lowest bidder. Right? So he works in a situation where if he gets, he has it on, he's on YouTube. He has it, and that's how I found him. He has it to where he has it where you fill out a consultation form. He's a disability attorney. You fill out a consultation form, and he'll see whether he will take your case. But what he does is he fishes out your information to other attorneys or whatever they are. And then that way, now your phone is blowing up with somebody that's not Jonathan Ginsburg. So I felt like I didn't like that shit, because I feel like if you feel you can't take the case, and let me show you how this went further. I was in one of his live streams one time, and he was taking questions, and this is when he was really trying to build his channel through live streams. And I typed in a question, and he got to my question, because there don't be a lot of motherfuckers showing up in this shit. So he got to my question, and he's like, oh. He acted like he couldn't say my name, and that's when my name was Goddess of Love, the Most High, something like that, whatever. But Goddess of Love, and he's like, Goddess, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to have records. You're gonna have, right? But I didn't have my name, my screen name saying Elizabeth M. Fontenot. I said my screen name for YouTube was Goddess of Love. And so he first acted like he couldn't say the name. Let's show you something about these men. And then he goes, oh yeah, oh wait, who is it? And because I put it in the chat on purpose. And I said, yes, my judge is Helen Strong and blah, blah, blah. And I put in distinct things that as a disability lawyer, he would be able to give me his professional opinion. Or I would like to say his professional dictation, okay? Because I feel like you can dictate some shit if you're supposed to be expert, professional, license, whatever. Anywho, so he goes, oh yeah, that'll be hard to prove because you got Judge Helen Strong. Okay, wow, she's good, she's great. She has a high approval rate. Okay, well, yeah, you're gonna need to get a scanning on your spine, an MRI. You're gonna have to have all that. So he was very negative. So right then, all I needed there was my confirmation. Because I always try to make sure that I'm not in my feelings. Just because of having this hard knock life since June 9th, 1974. I came out the motherfucking womb with this crooks. Okay? The cross. I'm not carrying no fucking crosses. Anywho, and so I had confirmation that he was selling my information to the lowest bidder. Yeah, you see how I said that? Okay, now let's continue. That's a truth 611 on the clock. Information that happened to me through Jonathan Ginsburg, a so-called disability attorney. You understand? Selling my information to the lowest bidder. But any other attorney says, I won't be taking your case. And I respect that. Right? But that's what he was doing. So now my phone blowing up with folks that I don't know who this is. Oh, hi, yes, yes, I received your information from Jonathan Ginsburg. Yeah. So why would that not feel like? Because what I did also learn was due to the COVID that a lot of the attorneys was doing what the fuck is that shit called remote view, remote whatever. But due to COVID that released that whole thing about the state mandated or wherever what state you work in. Y'all know the words. I can't think of the shit right now, but you know what I'm talking about. So due to COVID, they was able to do remote consultations and things of that nature. Whoop, state, but in a different state. I found out that information and what it's actually called and all that. So that meant that Jonathan was doing that on purpose because you're in Georgia, I'm in Texas. Now it's different if you explain to me the politics in Texas, whoop the whoop, that makes it harder to win, and you say to me like, well, yeah, have you been able to get the MRI? And I tell you all the befuckery that I've been going through with my medical records being sanitized and the whole 9 yards. For you to not pretend as if you're not an agent of destruction for people, for humanity, that anybody that'll throw you a little bone of cash, you willing to sabotage somebody. There is no ethics. There's no ethics. There's no ethics. There's no moral compass. For you to not show that that's the energy that you're in, you can give me that consultation that way by writing me back in an email or something like that, and then let it go. Because I come on your channel to learn and discern. Okay, so I don't give a fuck what your expertise is supposed to be, your professional degrees are supposed to be. I'm going on your heart. That's how I'm going to gauge whether or not you are somebody that is an agent of destruction towards humanity. All humankind. I don't give a fuck if it's a white person, a Hispanic person. I don't give a damn what their race is. If you're on the side of hurt, harm, and injure humanity at any cost, even if it's a low ball, little token they'll send you, or maybe it's I know it's a favor system. It's a favor system that they work about, that they work around with each other. It's a favor system. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I had to call it. I had to get that off my chest. There we go. We transmuted that. Okay. So again, you cannot expect for me not to tell the fucking truth, because I didn't ask to be a part of your motherfucking game. I came out of Patricia's womb June 9th, 1974 at 12:45 a.m. Y'all going on run the chart. You already know the information anyway. Motherfuckers be around you. Why are you giving out your information? If you black and you ever slid in between these fat ass thighs and felt this this vortex around your penis, and you got the audacity to be sitting up here thinking that I'm just giving out my personal shit, bitch, I said that my name is in all kind of shit. My identity that they gave me on June the 9th, 1974, 12:45 a.m., motherfucker. If you understand the contracts of the goddamn birth certificates, then your stupid ass wouldn't be saying it. And that's why I'm no longer even interested in that you ever was alive. You're dead to me. Why would you say such an infantile statement of that's gonna give me away that I ain't never been paying attention to nothing she been fucking saying? Huh? The fuck? But you want a divine feminine. You want a divine feminine that has that power, that direct connection to the anointing to be over your life and wishing you well and shit like that. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Huh? Huh? It's a give and take. A receive and give it back again, nigga. What? Don't play with me. I come to slay motherfuckers in the spirit of truth. Okay? Thank you. I heard what y'all said. Embrace my shadows. Y'all keep showing me that. Okay? Like I said. So that's what was on my mind. That was creating a cognitive dissonance. Mm-hmm. That's what was on my mind. But what it did was it disturbed me because I was thinking about that one penis that I want. I was thinking about that. I was focused on that one Ace of Wands, that penis. Uh-huh. But I want an Ace of Cups from that Ace of Wands. And he gonna need to bring that Ace of Swords, that truth, baby. And we gonna always have this Ace of Pentacles. Okay? So, that's what I was really thinking on as I was just laying there. I go through my little ritual of what I do. Stretch. Try to get my bones to not feel so tight and so stiff. I feel it around my legs and notice how my skin texture is changing and everything. And it's really getting really dry and everything. My grandfather had this. I didn't really get to know his records like that because, I was a kid. It's not my business. But it's my business now because I got it. So I think it's something like a psoriatic psoriasis in my skin. It's happening all on my legs. So I see myself going to vertigo. I saw myself in a dream, in a vision, that I was starting to have vertigo where my skin is changing colors. I'm losing my melanin. Okay, yeah. I saw that. They showed me that in the vision. But anywho, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking about. So I'm showing you my positive thoughts. And I was thinking about my new home space as I was trying to hold my back, asking, praying on my back, saying, please let me stay, don't let me start trembling and stuff. Let me water at least this wall of plants, please. It let me do that, and I couldn't do no more. Plus, I ran out of water bottles, so I came on back in here, changed out the trash, cleaned it, and sanitized around the sink, because that's a detail my daughter just seems to never do often enough. And it's because the shit that's coming out of the vent, right? The whole vent in the bathroom was molded. Okay. Anywho, so that made me upset. So I changed out the trash, and I still sanitize in spite of no matter how much we clean and keep things neat, decent, in order. It's a never ending shit show of this bullshit, right? So that's pissing me off. But I'm keeping my mind on the penis. I'm remembering the penis. The penis comes up in my mind, and I'm like, damn, fuck. I get a little mad, a little jealous about who's being able to have it and whatever. I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So let me go be creative. Let me go be creative, you know? So I was like, well, I can't diamond paint because my thumb is hurting. My thumb keeps locking up, so I can't diamond paint on my right hand. Okay, my muscles keep burning. I'm going through a lot of muscle aching and burning. Yeah. So I was like, well, how can I be creative today? So I was like, I'm not really feeling musical because I can't breathe good, and it gets me hyper, and I need every breath. So I was like, okay, how can I be creative? You see how I keep asking myself, higher self, it's like a blinking light, like a blinking alert. How can we be creative? How can we be creative? That's what happens. So that overloads and overpowers any negative thought. I'm just showing you how my mind works. For those that try to understand, how does she be channeling? I'm showing you. Pay the fuck attention, because I don't like repeating myself. Okay? That's what the snippy attitude comes from, because I don't like dealing with energy that is just I don't want to give it any adjectives. It's just like, right? Yeah. Any energy that's making me feel unorgasmic, none aroused, that energy. Okay? Aroused in the spirit, okay? The Holy Spirit. Holy, being whole. Yeah. That's what I'm calling WHOLLY, spirit, Holy Spirit. Because there are those that walks around saying that they're holy and they're having sex with children. I was fucked as a little kid in the mind. And it fucked with me for the rest of my life. I didn't know how to trust, my feelings for a man. I didn't know how to, you know? Yeah. But again, this is the past. 555. All right, let's see here. All right, so we talked about the chaos. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. The chaos, frequently used to describe chaotic situations where multiple sounds compete for attention, like an orchestra tuning up or a busy marketplace. See, they're talking to you. They're talking about this cacophony in musical definitions. So isn't life supposed to be musical? What was the music to our mother's ears that loved us? Us crying as babies, coming out the womb crying. That was music to my ears. It terrified the hell out of me, because now I really realize I got a little human being, and it's a little girl right here in my arms. And my baby was mad. I think she took all my energy. She came out pissed off, red. She was so red. She was pissed off. And she had bowel issues. Isn't that crazy? She couldn't boo boo. Wow, interesting, right? So I made sure that I was going to speak life into my child. I was going to speak love into her heart. I was going to anoint her with a certain magical, like fairy tale, unicorns, butterflies type of an essence in my tone. So when she heard my voice, she would smile. You know how they say when babies are sleeping and they smile in their sleep that they're being entertained by angels? Well, I wanted to be one of those angels that entertained my baby. And so also, I live with the thought of I could have had another baby and I didn't. So now who can I nurture? Who can I love on? They wanted me to leave off of this planet without ever doing that. So now I'm backed up. That's what the constipation is. My joints are like locking up. That's what the Walking Dead is. Wow. Don't you ever put limits on what the Most High Divine Source can do for your life and through your life. Capture that. Don't you dare count yourself out because of you going through a very tumultuous childhood, teenagerhood, young 20s, from the 20s to the 30th hood, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, wherever the fuck you are. Don't you count yourself out. Because you are the love that you seeking outside of yourself. And that's why I say, baby, I stay orgasmic. I kept wondering, why is this vagina so fucking wet all the time? Me and my daughter was just talking about that last night when I got off the live. I'm like, damn. You know, she's a woman. I'm like, I just be saying so fucking wet. What is that? Now I get it. I just realized that right with what I just said. It's that self-love. Because I told her, I said that's better than the opposite. Because when you get that dry vagina, ooh, that's irritating. I don't pantyless or not, it's irritating. No, it's not good. Like, we supposed to be wet down there. Smelling good and wet. And mine stay super wet. And I'm like, damn, what is that? I thought they said I was going through the menopause. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, well, let me just figure out how to work with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to go through things in life where you have to figure it out. You see that? Okay. You're going to have to figure it out. And when I say you're going to have to figure it out, because the goal is not for you to self-loathe. You know, I'm seeing people that literally have the OCD thing. Yeah. But the kind that you keep bathing over and 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 over, washing your hands a lot. Wow. That's a deep one right there. Because I can see myself doing that. I can see myself doing that with my hand washing and my genital washing. I wash my genitals a lot. I do. But it's not good to use very stringent soaps and stuff, so I use natural soap. Yeah. That's why I got away from those other soaps, y'all, because I be washing so much. And with this whole skin disorder thing, my skin is real sensitive. So I was like, ooh, ow, that's burning. Ow, ow. That never used to burn before. So I can't use that shit. So I had to get the natural soap. So that's for somebody. Yeah, so we talked about it. Is anything else, Spirit? Are we done? I think we might be done. All right. Peace.